Hello, it's the Irish Gypsy here to do your January 2016 reading. I will continue to be using the Gilded Tarot deck, drawing 2 cards for the month. Sorry, 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week, with an additional card at the end for an overall theme, general feeling, and advice for the month. I do wish to thank those of you who have been keeping me so busy with private readings the last few months. It's truly been an honor, and I thank you for that. I also thank those of you who continue to watch and listen, and those of you who subscribe and like and give feedback on the videos and comment on my page. Your attention and your comments are very welcome and greatly appreciated, so thank you as well. I hope that everyone has had a wonderful holiday season. I am recording and posting these at the end of December, so if any of you are interested in a private reading with me, my December specials still hold until January 1st. The December specials being $25 for a half an hour, $40 for 45 minutes, and $50 for an hour. In January, the specials I will be running will be private readings for $1 a minute, beginning at 30 minutes and going all the way up to 90 minutes. So without further ado, let's get into your reading. Pisces, this is for you for the month of January 2016. So what does the first month of the first month of the new year hold for our dreamers? Pisces, our swimmers. I always look at you as the dreamers of the zodiac, Pisces. What does January 2016 hold for you? I do shuffle my cards thoroughly before each and every reading, but I like to go through a last little bit of a shuffle while I'm recording with you. Okay. For the first week, we have the Seven of Swords, followed by the Fool card. For the second week, we have the Ace of Pentacles, followed by the Eight of Pentacles. For the third week, we have the Star card, beautiful card, followed by the Four of Pentacles. For the fourth week, we have the Judgment card, followed by the Two of Swords. And as your overall theme and advice for the month, I pull a card from the bottom of the deck, and you have the Chariot card. Well, this is kind of an interesting reading, Pisces. I'm getting kind of the feeling of a bit of yo-yoing back and forth, some internal struggle, and kind of an overall feeling of choices to be made this month, and some hard work thrown in there too. So let's begin. We start the month, and I say start the month, of course, the timeline of the cards not having a clearly defined beginning and ending. This could represent energy that begins in the month of December and carries over into February as well. So we have the Seven of Swords, followed by the Fool card. Lovely whimsical card. So the Seven of Swords. The suit of swords, the element being of air, and swords is a suit that represents our thoughts, our ways of thinking, our mind, our intellect, our logic, our reasoning. The Seven of Swords, I've heard it referred to, and I sometimes see it as the thievery card, the sneaky, slippery. There's almost a feeling of deception in this card, and it's kind of bolstered by the artwork in this particular deck. It shows a man who is sneaking away with a rather smirky, sneaky look on his face. He has stolen a bunch of swords and is making away with them. He hasn't been able to steal everything. There are still some left behind, but he is getting away with something. This could represent someone in your life who is taking something from you, someone who has taken something from you, or it could represent you also in the same position. This is also a card that, depending on where it falls in the reading and the cards surrounding it, it also can show a need to be a little more clever and a little more thoughtful and resourceful about how you go about either getting something or accomplishing something. This card could also represent a real need of balance in a decision-making process, which is kind of echoed throughout this reading. And I say this because the card that it's paired with for the first week is the Fool card. Now, the Fool card is a major arcana card, and let's see, we have one, two, three, four major arcana cards in this spread. So it looks like the divine, God's spirit, your guides, your angels, whatever is your spiritual structure. It looks like they have a strong presence in your life this month. So the Fool card is the Zero card. This represents the beginning of the beginning. The Fool is just starting out on his journey. He is very carefree, very thoughtless in a way. He doesn't really know where he's going. He only knows he's going on an adventure. He doesn't know what he's going to need, and he's not particularly concerned about it. And the way that I'm actually reading the combination of both these cards together, um, and separately, their definition might be somewhat different, but the feeling that I'm getting off this combination is somewhere either towards the end of December or going into January 2016 into the new year. I get the sense that you're actually being a little too. There's something in your life that you're doing or a path that you've been walking where you're being a little too careless, a little too flippant about it, a little too um, devil may care about it. The feeling that I'm getting off this combination is a need for more balance, a need for more stability, and a need to be more grounded and more prepared in what it is that you're doing. It could be that you're just coming off of a run of holiday celebrations and maybe being a little bit irresponsible with money spending or how you choose to celebrate. But I do get the sense that there's a kind of a thoughtless carelessness to something that you're doing, to some kind of path that you're walking, and that more thoughtfulness, more planning, and more stability is needed in some area of your life. So that's interesting. Now, in the second week, we have a combination that's kind of the opposite. So it's a little confusing to me at this point. Let's take a look and see what it says. We have the Ace of Pentacles followed by the Eight of Pentacles. Both of these cards being Pentacle cards. Pentacles is a suit, the element being that of Earth, and Pentacles is a suit that typically represents things in our tangible environment. It manifests usually with things like money, finances, resources, assets, property, wealth. It can refer to jobs or careers. But this is tangible things. These are typically things we can see, touch, feel in our world, in our environment, in our home. And aces represent new beginnings. They represent the seeds of new beginnings. They can also represent new ideas and new inspirations and things being brought to you. And the Ace of Pentacles I actually see as more of a gift card. The Ace of Pentacles could mean that someone's actually in the month of January giving you the gift of money or finances or resources you need with which to start something. And since aces represent new beginnings, I feel like whatever it is that you're getting, whether it's someone actually giving something to you, which is how I read it first and foremost, or you receive an opportunity to do something new, an idea to do something that's going to bring you actual um, tangible benefits, money, finances, something to do with that. It's some kind of earthly structure, something to do with your finances is what I'm getting. Now it's paired with the Eight of Pentacles, which I always look at as the worker bee card. It shows a man who is working at his desk. There are seven pentacles dancing in the air above him, and he's working very hard and very diligently on the eighth one at his desk. From the weather outside his workspace, we can gather that it is late at night. The sun is setting. Perhaps you've been burning the candles at both ends. The candles are burning. He is very focused, very determined, and very diligent. He's working very hard to build up our resources. He's worked very hard to build on something, which has garnered him and is continuing to garner him a fair amount of abundance from the efforts that he's put into it. And paired with the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like somewhere in the second week or around the middle of the month, in direct contradiction to the feeling from the combination of cards before it, perhaps you're just you're just the partying time is over, the celebrations are over, and you're knuckling back down to work again. it looks like you've either got a new idea about work, or perhaps you're beginning your own business, you're starting something. Perhaps the Ace of Pentacles is resonating for you in some kind of entrepreneurial work of some kind. But whatever it is, it's going to require a lot of hard work on your part, or it's something that you're working very hard on. But it's also a combination that pretty much guarantees the success or financial abundance of whatever this is. So that looks that looks very positive and very promising. So in the third week of the month, we have the Star card, a beautiful major arcana card, and one of my favorite major arcana cards. It might be my favorite major arcana card, and it's paired with the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Star card is a card that represents primarily faith. It represents hope. It speaks to having faith in the promise that after hardship and difficulty,